what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a super fun DIY on some Halloween treats. I absolutely love doing these treats videos. They're so much fun for me to make, and I just really enjoy it because you know what? I kind of like baking and doing crafty little food things. So I'm really excited about today's video. You guys seem to love the ones that I did last year. If you weren't with me last year and you want to see the ones that I'm talking about, I will have my entire Halloween playlist linked down below, and I'll pop a little button right here that you can click to see the entire playlist of all of my Halloween stuff. So if this happens to be the first time you're on my channel, what's up and welcome. I'd love for you guys to click subscribe and join the family. I also just wanted to let you guys know about a Halloween giveaway I have going on right now. I'll pop a new button right here so you can click to get all the rules and information and details on that. I love being able to do giveaways for you guys, so definitely make sure to check that out for all of the rules and stuff. And without talking anymore, here in the beginning, I am going to go ahead and get on to these DIY Halloween treats. The first treat we're going to make are some witch's fingers. So what you're going to need for this are some pretzel rods, you'll need some almond slices, and some white chocolate and food coloring or green white chocolate melts. I don't happen to have a proper double boiler or broiler, I don't know which one it's called, so I made a very lazy version. Safety warning is advised if you try it the way I did it. Just be careful. I mean, it works, but it's not ideal. So what I'm doing right here is melting down my white chocolate, and as I'm melting it, I'm adding in my food coloring. So it takes a lot of food coloring actually to get from the white of the white chocolate down to the green that I wanted. So just kind of slowly mix it in until you have the color of green that you desire for your witch's fingers, and just keep melting this together. I did this on medium heat so I didn't overheat my chocolate. Now it's time to dip your pretzels, and I'm sure there's a much better way to do this than what I did, but I had actually never done this before, so I was kind of just trying a bunch of different ways. Sticking it directly in the pot did not work very well, so I ended up taking it off the pot and doing what I'm doing right here, but just, you know, not on the stove. So there's probably much better ways to do this. Here's me trying another different way. I just left this in for your entertainment because really this is not a good way to do it. So after much trial and error, I did figure out a way to dip my pretzels. Basically, I just dunked it in the thing and then swirled it around on the spatula. So anyway, that's enough of that. While it is still somewhat not completely dry, add these little almonds at the top, and that's gonna make the witch's nail. And then you can either leave these out to harden, or you could put them in the fridge for about 20 minutes and they will harden up, and here is the final result of my witch's fingers. The next treat I'm going to make are some Rice Krispie treats that are shaped like candy corns and dunked with chocolate. So what you'll need for this are some Rice Krispie treats, you'll need some white chocolate and food coloring, you'll also need dark chocolate, and of course your marshmallows for the Rice Krispie treats. I am going to zoom through this part because the recipe for Rice Krispie treats are actually on the Rice Krispie cereal box. So there's really no need to spend a ton of time on it. Basically, it's just 3 tablespoons of butter. I use the Earth Balance butter because that's just what I prefer. And then you stir in a package of marshmallows and melt that down on medium heat until it is completely smooth. And then you'll add your Rice Krispie treats little by little until there's no more room to stir. I believe the measurement on the back of the box is 6 cups of Rice Krispies, but I ended up using just like, I don't know, 3/4 of the box. I didn't actually measure. I just stirred until there was no more marshmallow mix to spread around onto the cereal. After that's all mixed up and cool enough to handle, I ripped off a piece of tinfoil and put that down so I could kind of start shaping my Rice Krispie treats into these little candy corn shapes, or just soft triangles. You don't need to make it like a super hard edge. I suppose you could, if you didn't want to freehand this, you could put it into a pan and then cut triangles, whatever you prefer. This is just what I chose to do. So I am shaping those out and then letting them completely harden up before I dunk them in chocolate. Just like my first treat, I did the same double boiler technique for this chocolate, and I am just dunking the bottom part of these candy corns into the chocolate. I guess this is more like Indian corn is what I think they call it, because it's not the traditional candy corn colors, but I prefer chocolate over white chocolate, so I chose to do it this way. So I just popped this in the freezer until it was completely hardened up, and then I melted down some white chocolate and added orange food coloring to that as well and dunked the top, and here is the final result of these. The final treat is kind of not really a treat, it's just guacamole with a cute little Halloween touch. So I don't know why I put pumpkins in the beginning of that shot, but you'll need 3 avocados, a lime, some garlic, and 1 small Roma tomato. I'm just going to open up all of these avocados and kind of cut them while they're still in the skin and then spoon them out into the bowl. A lot of you guys have asked for my guacamole recipe, and I showed it a million times on my vlog channel. Well, not the actual recipe, but the actual guacamole. And you guys keep asking for it, and I never really had a reason to make a video specifically for that. So this is like my famous guacamole recipe. There I go, just patting myself on the back. But it is really good. So I did 3 avocados, and I'm just rolling this lime to kind of get the juices flowing. And then I'm cutting that in half and using half of the lime. So just squeeze that half in. Of course, you could add more or less depending on what your personal preference is. So I'm just kind of taking the spoon and mixing that through a little. I'm using half a teaspoon of salt, and again, that can be adjusted to your personal preference. And then I'm just going to mix this all together before I cut up my tomato. I like to make sure the texture is right before I add the tomatoes so I don't beat those to death while I'm trying to mix the guacamole. So after that, I am going to be adding 1 large clove of garlic, and I am just cutting the ends off of that and sticking this in my nifty little garlic peeler. If you guys don't have one of these in your life, you need it, like yesterday. See how amazing that is? I use this every time I peel garlic. I hate getting it underneath my nails. So anyway, I just scraped that off into the bowl, and I'm cutting up my tomato now. If you are a tomato freak, you could add 2 tomatoes to this, 3 tomatoes to this, whatever you want. I just kind of like my guacamole to be like 2 parts guacamole to 1 part tomato. Or maybe 3 parts, I guess. I don't know. I don't like an overload of tomatoes. So here comes the fun Halloween part of this video. I saw this on Pinterest, so I cannot even claim credit for this, but I just thought it was the cutest idea ever. This would be adorable to bring to a party or something. So basically you just get a decorative pumpkin, and you can draw like a little barfing face on it. And the way you will plate this is so that the pumpkin is on the end of the plate and it looks like the guacamole is like puke coming out of his mouth. So you could paint the face on. I just chose to do Sharpie because it was easier and I felt like I'd have more control. But like I said, I'm plating this on kind of a longer plate. It just gives a better effect to the guacamole puke. So that is the final result of that, and this is it for my Halloween treats for this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.